When you have a history of greatness, the real challenge starts after the finish line.
I can taste triumph with the heart of a lion.
When victory alone isn't enough, you chase something greater, no matter how difficult the path. On the dirt, in the sand, and beyond. The new 2024 Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot, part of our most rugged trail sport lineup yet. From Honda.
Good evening and welcome to our show, Going Public. I'm Renee Fonseca, and joining us tonight is Cheryl DeGrees, the Federal Program Supervisor for the Terrebonne Parish School District. I would like to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. Today, you're going to give our audience an overview of the latest calming rooms that the district has implemented in some of the schools. Can you let our viewers know what is a calming room?
Yes, absolutely. We have added calming rooms to all of our elementary and middle schools. We were very excited to be able to have funds left to spend COVID money, that we could use this as a resource for students. What we did was each school was able to pick a room in their building. We're very fortunate that a lot of our schools have an extra classroom. Those that didn't have an extra classroom had an office area. We put together a list of materials. As you can see, there's lots of different things that can be used for tactile learners or stimulate students and getting them to soothe them or better in control of their emotions. So it's really a place where principals and teachers can recognize a student that has a problem and may be overwhelmed with emotion or not know how to handle their emotions. So when they meet as a team, they can determine who might better be able to go into that room to help regulate how they're feeling, if they're feeling overwhelmed, if they need a break. You know, a lot of times children don't often know how to handle their emotions. So this is like a safe space that's been created that gives them a place to be able to take a break when they're overwhelmed.
And who are the schools going to allow to go into the calming rooms?
Well, since it is one room, and really typically to have it to be effective, it should only be used by one student at a time. So it's going to be limited, the use. So you're looking at principals and teachers and staff getting together to determine who this room would benefit most. You know, if there's a child that when he gets off the bus in the morning, you know, has a lot of anxiety, is afraid, that might be a child that they say, okay, when this child gets off the bus, we're going to give them a few minutes in the calming room to kind of calm them down and give them a chance to kind of transition into the learning environment. It's all about getting children, giving them that resource to be able to transition and be engaged in the learning environment.
And I know you talked about, limiting it. What would be the normal time that a student would be in the calming room?
Well, we'd probably first start with about 15 minutes, giving them that time to be able to explore the space. Because as an adult, I'll look at all this stuff and think, wow, I want to go look at all the stuff. But as a child, looking at all the really cool stuff in that room, they're going to need time to go and look at those things and figure out what they want to use for the time they're in there. But after they're introduced to the space, then typically we say the time would be about 7 to 10 minutes, because we don't want to take them out of their core instructional time. And really their day is full of already, of core time and different things like that. But we feel this would be very beneficial to children to have.
And why is the district focusing on calming rooms?
Well, we saw that it was a need with students. Again, there are children that have a hard time transitioning from one environment to another, or children that may feel overwhelmed and not know how to handle their emotions appropriately. And this is just an added resource that we're giving to schools to be able to assist children.
And I know throughout the program they have been showing pictures and videos from the calming rooms. Which of our schools in the district have a calming room?
We were fortunate enough to be able to have funds to provide a space for every elementary school, including SEC, and every middle school.
Let's go ahead and talk about the calming rooms. I know that the pictures have been shown. What's some of the type of equipment that was placed into the rooms?
There's large beanbag chairs. There's pea pod sitting. There's swings. There's like a mini trampoline. You could see like the bouncy balls, the tiles on the floor. It's like a gel that, they can move with their fingers. There's different light up things and tubes of bubbles that is, nice to look at with the eyes, I guess you could say.
And I know that school has recently started within the last few weeks. We're, actually getting to the middle of the first 9 weeks. Have you received any feedback from principals or teachers regarding the calming rooms and the transition, students are facing?
I have not yet. I have seen a couple of them that are finished. I know that principals are trying to get everything done before we tackle one more thing. But I'm very excited to hear back from them and the what it can do for our students.
Are we going to continue to add to the calming rooms, or do we keep, plan to keep them the way they are and see how they work out?
Well, since this was one-time funding, we've pretty much put what we could in the rooms with that amount of money. But schools have the option, if they want to utilize school funds, to purchase additional instruction materials that they think would fit into their room.
And with these calming rooms, are we facing any challenges that you can foresee?
I think it's going to be a good thing for kids.
No, definitely. I mean, like you said, I think one of the challenges maybe is that the students want to go to it and they want to be there continuously.
Right. And what we'll have to keep in mind as educators is it's going to be something that's proactive and not reactive, because if we treat it as something reactive, then everybody's going to want to go. And unfortunately, we can't service everybody. We'd like to, but
that's definitely understandable. I definitely want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. It was a pleasure having you on air to talk about the calming rooms. In the future, we can possibly have you back on to give us the feedback and see how they're working out.
Sure.
Yeah, so thank you for joining us. I would like to thank you, our viewers, for watching. Don't forget to join us every week on Going Public. Good night.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.